My family, Kay Middleton, is playing the victim again in her never-ending cycle of victimhood. She says that apparently she has been hurt and insulted by Harry and Meghan, and she and Prince William have closed their minds to mending family rift. My family, don't they realize that they're the ones who created this rift in the first place? Don't they realize that they are the main problem? And everyone says the problem lies with William, in particular, him in particular. It's he. He's the one who my family, even Harry told us, he went after Meghan. Kate, before Meghan's wedding, was making Meghan cry. My family, I even recall an interaction between Meghan and Kay Middleton at the walkabout, my family. And that is what I want you to be able to see. And you tell me exactly who is the bully yourself. My family, look at this, my family, please. My family, it's a clip about the royal walkabout, my family. The royal walkabout. Whereby Kate steps forward, my family. You know? She steps forward straight and looks at Meghan's eyes as if, trying to hurt Meghan Markle or scare her. Meghan steps back. After Kate advances towards Meghan Markle. Meghan was terrified, very, very much terrified. Look at that, my family, look at that. Kate lunges forward towards Meghan, looked at her, straight in her eyes. Meghan, seemingly terrified, steps back. My family, who is the bully in this case, my family? Who is the bully? Who has always been the bully? Kay Middleton is the one who has always been the bully. She is the one who made Meghan cry. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Meghan steps back after Kate lunges at her. Look at that. Meghan then steps back. Kate is looking Meghan straight in the eyes, my family, clearly trying to scare Meghan Markle. Meghan steps back. My family, I don't think that Harry and Meghan have told us the full story. I don't see in my mind that Harry and Meghan have told us the full story of what happened to them from William and Kay Middleton. They haven't told us the full story. They have not. They have not. Something far worse happened, and Kate and William were the ones who caused pain to Harry and Meghan. Look at that, my family. Kate lunges towards Meghan. Meghan's terrified, steps back. My family, you can't ignore this. You cannot ignore this. You cannot ignore this, what happened. You can't ignore it. It's right there, right in front of your eyes. But then Kate will tell you, oh, I've been hurt. I've been insulted by Prince Harry and Meghan. And I and William, we have no chance. We are not going to end this rift with Harry and Meghan because I've been insulted. I've been hurt by Harry and Meghan. My family, I want to read you a part in Harry's memoir, Spare. My family, first of all, before I read you this part of Harry's memoir, Spare, where he speaks of Kay Middleton, my family, I want to remind you of something. The fact that when William and Kate got married, you never heard stories. Harry made Kate cry. Harry caused any problems when William and Kay Middleton were getting married. You never had any such thing. But when Harry fell in love, that's when you had Kay Middleton, my family. She was the one who made Meghan cry. But then she lied and said it was Meghan who made her cry. And Harry and Meghan, they wanted a correction. That's what they wanted. But my family, it never happened. It never ever happened. Because the heir and the heir's wife must be protected. You know? My family, let me read you what Harry said about Middleton, so you understand exactly what I am talking about my family. Please kindly hear this. And I quote straight from Harry's memoir spare. I loved my new sister-in-law. I felt she was more sister than in-law. The sister I'd never had and always wanted. And I was pleased that she'd forever be standing by Willie's side. She was a good match for my older brother. They made each other visibly happy, and therefore I was happy too. And I wanted to read you those words straight from Harry. Harry would see William and Kate happy together. And my family, he was happy for them. You know, he was happy for William and Kate Middleton because that is what he would see. He was happy for William and Kate Middleton. That's how Harry felt. He wanted to see William happy. But look at William when Harry began dating Meghan Markle. The moment he found out that Harry was going out and dating Meghan, that Harry has a new woman in her life, and not just any woman, not just any other woman, a woman starring in a show that William and Kate Middleton were watching, Suits, Meghan. When William found out that Harry was dating Meghan Markle, my family, he practically, the first thing he was unhappy about was that Meghan was an American. The first thing, my family. And his words, they hurt Prince Harry. It hurt Prince Harry. William's words, they hurt Prince Harry. It hurt him so, so badly to hear what William said, my family. You know? My family, William was saying that, you know what, Harry? Meghan is an American. Anything could happen. That is what William told Prince Harry. He was so anti-American. That is what, William said to Harry, how he behaved when he was speaking to Harry. My family even, Harry tells us in his memoir spare, when William would speak about Meghan being an American citizen, he used that term as if my family, he was speaking about a convicted felon. Harry tells us that in his memoir spare. Remember that the next time William comes to America and then tries to imply that he cares about Americans, he does not. He does not, my family. But one thing that I can learn even from Harry's memoir spare, Harry cared so much about Kate Middleton. But when time came for them to show love to the woman that Harry was falling in love with, had fallen in love with, they did not reciprocate the love, support Harry showed them when they, Kate and William, were dating. William and Kate never ever, reciprocated the love Harry showed them. They did not. And my family, that really makes me sad. That really, really makes me so sad, to hear that. My family, that really made me so sad to even see what has been happening, that William and Kate Middleton, when time came for Harry to fall in love with Meghan Markle, when Harry fell in love with Meghan Markle, they never ever reciprocated the love and support that Harry showed them. They did not. And that, it made me extremely sad to know. And my family, there is also something else from Harry's memoir spare. My family, where Harry speaks of that lie. that, Meghan had made Kate cry. Well, Harry speaks of that lie. Please kindly hear what Harry said. My family, and I quote, "Days later came the coup de grace from a royal correspondent, a sci-fi fantasy describing the growing Frodo good lord between Kate and Meghan, claiming that according to two sources, Meghan had reduced Kate Middleton to tears about the bridesmaid dresses. And this particular royal correspondent had always made me ill." My family, Harry is speaking about Camilla Tominey is a liar. She'd always got stuff wrong. But this felt more than wrong. I read the story in disbelief. Meg did not. She still wasn't reading anything she heard about it. However, since it was the only thing being discussed in Britain for the next 24 hours, and as long as I live, I'll never forget the tone of her voice as she looked me in the eye and said, "Has I made her cry? I made her cry." You know, my family. My family also, Harry then tells us this. "We arranged a second summit with Willie and Kimbleton, this time on our turf, December 10th, 2018, early evening. We all gathered in our little front annex, and this time there was no small talk. Kate got things rolling straight away by acknowledging that these stories in the papers about Meg making her cry were totally false. "I know, Meghan, that I was the one who made you cry." I sighed. Excellent start, I thought. Meg appreciated the apology, but wanted to know why the papers had said this and what was being done to correct them. In other words, why isn't your office standing up for me? Why haven't they phoned this, execrable woman who wrote this story and demanded a retraction? I'm sorry. Is that, how Harry speaks of Camilla Tomin is a liar? Is quite, funny, really. Considering how Camilla Tomin is a liar is practically begging for Harry to come back to the UK. Leave Meghan and Archie and leave it and come back to the UK. Considering how Camilla Tomin is a liar is begging for Harry. How Harry speaks of her. My family, if someone spoke like this of me, I would have gotten the message. But with liars like Camilla Tomin is a liar, truly, my family, no matter how Harry tells them he can't stand them, still they'll grovel and beg. "Harry, we want you. Harry, come back. Harry, come back." But yet Harry clearly can't stand Camilla Tomin is a liar. I've always said, my family, it's Harry who has never been able to stand any of them. But guess what? They blame Meghan because Harry can't stand them. My family, please kindly also hear this. Kate flustered, did not answer, and Willie timed in with some very supportive sounding evasions. But I already knew the truth. No one at the palace could phone the correspondent because that would invite the inevitable retort. Well, if the story is wrong, what is the real story? What did happen between the two duchesses? And that door would never be opened because it would embarrass the future queen. The monarchy always, at all costs, had to be protected at the expense of Meghan, using lies, because that's essentially what happened. Protected by lying about Meghan Markle. Basically, that's what it is, my family. Protect the monarchy by lying and creating and inventing lies about Meghan Markle to attack Meghan Markle. And that is what they did. My family, there's so much that Harry and Meghan haven't told us. So much. Because, what they went through was far worse than what Harry even told us. It's far worse. It is far worse. There is so much more. Even no wonder, really, you are seeing some carnival of so-called experts speculating, could Meghan write a book? My family, I hope she writes her own memoir. I really hope. But I don't think she'll do that. But I could hope she does that. But my family, clearly, that won't happen. Harry did tell us that my family, the first draft for the memoir had even more pages. So they had to cut off, some sections, my family, of his book. And my family also, Harry did tell us also that there are other things that Harry could say, but he did not say. That's what Harry also told us about what Charles and William have done. And that Harry said that if he ever shared those things clearly, then completely, they definitely would never ever forgive him. But my family, I hope that he would share even more about what they did to him. Because clearly, what they did to Harry was far, far worse. Remember Tyler Perry's words. There's so much more they could have said. There's so much more that Harry and Meghan could have said. Be it in Oprah, and clearly even be it in the Harry and Meghan docu-series. There's so much more they could have said. But because of how classy they are, my family, truly, they chose to keep some details, a secret, because I do believe something much worse happened that clearly my family, Harry and Meghan, won't talk about. My family. And then Harry then tells us this. We shifted from what to do about the story to where it came from. Who could have planted such a thing? Who could have leaked it to the press in the first place? Who? We went around and around, and the list of suspects became vanishingly small. Finally, Willie leaned back and considered that while we'd been on tour in Australia, he and Kate had gone to dinner with Pa and Camilla, and alas, he said sheepishly, he might have let it slip that there'd been strife between the two couples. So William told Charles and Camilla about it. And then that ended up, in the UK media. And then the story was twisted to say it's Meghan who made Kate cry. My family, I feel like William, when he said what he said, I believe that he was just lying. I believe that he lied. This story, it came from, Kate and William. It came from Kate Middleton and Prince William. My family, all they had to do was just say the story is false. It's a lie. They could even have said to the press, all is well between William and Kate Middleton and Harry and Meghan. They could have said that. But they did not. My family. But they did not. And Harry then tells us that, I put a hand over my face. Meg froze. A heavy silence fell. So now we knew. I told Willie, you of all people should have known. He should have known. He nodded. He knew. More silence. It was time for them to go. My family, Harry tells us, what happened behind the scenes when he spoke to William and Kate Middleton about, what happened. But Kate today, my family, just a few, basically yesterday, was leaking how she's been hurt and insulted by Harry and Meghan. My family, the only lie I ever heard in the Oprah interview from Meghan, really, was that Kate Middleton was a good person. It is the only lie I heard from Meghan. in the Oprah interview, Kate Middleton is not a good person. She isn't. She is not. My family. And the scenes of what happened basically at the walkabout, it confirms what we all know. Kate Middleton is not a good person, and she has never ever been a good person, and that is a fact, and anyone who tells you otherwise is practically lying to you, my family, because you also, how Kate Middleton basically, approached Meghan at the walkabout. It was scary. It was horrifying, what we basically saw, my family. It was horrifying what we saw, my family, what Kate Middleton did to Meghan Markle. It was horrifying what we saw. How she, look at that look. Meghan then stepped back. Look at that look. Look at that look. Look at that look, my family. That look is terrifying. That look is very, very terrifying, my family. And Kate will tell you that she's been hurt, insulted by Harry and Meghan, playing the victim, as always. When will Kate Middleton understand this? She has never been a victim of Harry and Meghan. She has never. She is the abuser, not the victim. Not the victim. Kate has never been the victim. She's someone who caused Meghan immense pain. She spread lies about Meghan Markle. Even William intervening. Harry tells us in his most pair, when they were asking Kate Middleton, who did you tell that story? William intervened to cover for Kate Middleton. And then they told Harry and Meghan that when Harry and Meghan were in Australia, that my family, William and Kate Middleton, had dinner with Charles and Camilla. And they told Camilla and Charles what had happened. William deflected, to say, you know what? It ain't us. It's, we told Charles and Camilla. So maybe one of them, said something. That's what William did. He deflected, He deflected my family. And my family have been told it's William who had a problem with Meghan. We've been told that time and time again. We have been told that, endless amounts of times. It's William who stormed into Nottingham Cottage when Meghan wasn't there to physically assault Harry while trying to turn Harry against Meghan. It is William. It's William that when he found out that Harry was going out with Meghan Markle, it's him. He's the one. My family, the first problem he has with my family was that Meghan was American. That's the first problem William had. My family, the first problem. So my family, it's always been William. It's always been him. He is the one who is the problem. But my family, it is not just him. It is not just him. It's William and also Kate Middleton. Kate Middleton was following her jealous husband's lead in this ongoing smear campaign against Harry and Meghan. That is what she was doing, following her husband's lead. It's William who is the problem. It's William. My family, it is William. I recall even Meghan's reaction after finding out that Prince William had practically authorized his own employee to issue a statement against Meghan in court. Meghan said, it's your brother. It's your brother. It's your brother. It's just so obvious. It's just so obvious. It's your brother. It's him. It's him. It's your brother. It's your brother. It's so obvious. And Meghan was asking, Harry was saying that I'll deal with this. Then Meghan told Harry, how do we deal with this? How do we deal with this? How do we handle something like this? William's actions to undermine and try and destroy Meghan's reputation. William working hand in hand with Daily Mail, a UK tabloid that bullies and abuses Harry and Meghan. working hand in hand. Meghan asks Harry, how do we deal with this? And some people wonder why Meghan won't come to the UK when Harry comes. Meghan is the main target. It is Meghan who is the main target. Harry is the secondary target. It's Meghan who they're coming for. It is Meghan whom they want to destroy first. By destroying Meghan, they destroy Prince Harry. He is the secondary target, my family. And I've always told you that, my family. I've always said that. Harry is the secondary target. Meghan is the primary target of the farm and the UK media. First, they hoped they could abuse Meghan out of Harry's life. My family, I can also note from what Harry tells us, my family, Willie told him that when Harry and Meghan were on tour in Australia, a highly, immensely successful tour in Australia, the tour that we have learned, my family, that made members of the royal family jealous because they got to see how good Meghan was at the job. William went to Camilla and Charles and told them, you know what? There was a problem between Kate and Meghan, and someone cried. And later on the front page, it is Meghan made Kate cry, but yet it is Kate who made Meghan cry. My family, from what I've learned about the royal family, is that even before a tabloid prints, their daily publication, royal family courtiers, their staff, their comms team are given an advance copy of tomorrow's paper. Sections having to do with the royal family, they're given an advanced copy, whereby they get to know what will be in tomorrow's front page. And that story that, Kate made Meghan cry, it ended up on the front page. So my family, it's a story that comms teams will be able to see, access, before it's even published. And they saw the front page, the headline, before it was even published. And they were okay with it because it was a lie about Meghan Markle. Because it was designed to smear the Spears wife. Because it was designed to make racist attack Meghan, a woman of color. That is what the story was designed to do. And the royal family let it get published. They consented to it being published because they were okay with it. William and Middleton were okay with that. Charles Camilla were okay with it. My family, they were okay with it. And my family, if they were okay with what was happening, so my family, it just means that, first of all, they have never ever wished Harry and Meghan well. All of them have been trying to sabotage Harry and Meghan for a very, very long time. From Charles, Camilla to William and Middleton, they've been trying to sabotage Harry and Meghan. They are married. Their relationship for a very, very long time, my family, for a very, very long time. And it's so bad what they've been trying to do. And my family, the person who said that Middleton is hurt and somehow insulted by Harry and Meghan, her name is Jenny Bond. My family. And she says that there comes a point when you just have to accept that happy families are not a game that everyone can play. And that Catherine has been hurt and insulted by things that Harry and Meghan have said. But she and William are a very strong team. And I suspect that together, they've come to the conclusion that the rift with Harry, they don't mention Meghan, that the rift with Harry can't be fixed in the foreseeable future. My family, once again, they keep proving what we have been saying, my family. It's Harry who my family they want. It is Harry. Not Meghan, it's Harry. They want him alone. But they don't want him because they miss him, or that, okay, they do miss Harry. The Tory media misses having, access to Harry. They miss that. They want him there, but to destroy the spare. As I've always said, to destroy the spare, his life. He was never supposed to have an amazing mansion in Montecito, my friend. That's not the future that was written for Harry. Harry was supposed to basically, carry William around. Be the third wheel, follow William around my family, and, do the work, and William and Kimilton take the credit for what Harry has done. And William and Kimilton take credit for what Harry has done. That was supposed to, how things were supposed to play out, basically. That was how things were supposed to play out. But my family, I'm so thankful that Harry chose a path, for himself. Carved a path really for himself, for my family. And also for his family, for Meghan, for Archie, and for Lilibet Diana. Because the kids will be happier, far away from the toxic tabloids and toxic institution. I think that's very, very important to say, my family. That's very, very important to say. My family, you can't tell me that you love me, but you hate my wife, you hate my son, and you hate my daughter. You can't. Anyone tells you, Harry, we love you, come back. But then, Meghan, Archie, Libet should stay over there. Should stay in California. Those people don't wish you well. The royal family, when they were announcing that Harry was coming to King Charles' coronation, I was upset, first of all, that Harry was going to King Charles' coronation with him, but I accepted that that's a choice that he and Meghan, make together, must have made together. And my family, basically, when Harry went to King Charles' coronation, one thing that bothered me even before he went there was the palace statement that said, and I quote, "We are pleased to confirm Harry will attend King Charles' coronation, but Archie, Lilibet, and Meghan will stay in California." That's what they said. That bothered me so much. It bothered me so much because it's like the tabloids were getting what they wanted. Harry there, but Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, Diana, far away from Prince Harry. That is what really, bothers me. That's what bothered me, just hearing that. Harry will be here, but then Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, will stay in California. That bothered me because, it gave you the feeling that UK media are getting what they want. They're getting what they've always dreamt about, really. Harry back alone without Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, Diana. And ever since then, we see UK media believe or think that Harry is the one who's approachable. They can get to Harry, but only if Meghan ain't around. That's why even the UK media did not want Meghan at the Invictus Games. They were hoping that if Meghan ain't around, maybe Harry will forget what they did to Meghan. Maybe Harry will forget about, the loss of his unborn child. Maybe Harry will forget about, the pain they've gone through with Meghan because of the UK media. And if Harry's alone, they can be able to manipulate him, my family, or control him. So they can gain access to Harry if Meghan ain't around. That's what they hope for. And that bothered me, my friend. But that bothers me, really. That bothers me, even to say it. It bothers me. And my family, I was bothered really much when I had that palace statement. Meghan, Archie, Lilibet will stay in California. It bothered me. I think that if there's one thing that angered me, really, was that palace statement. But then again, that's what they want. That's what they want. I feel like the onus is on Prince Harry to see, what they truly want, what they wish for him, in particular, him, is that he is separated from Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet. That's what they wish for him. I've had some carnival of so-called experts hoping that Harry will come back to the UK because they want drama, stories to write. Harry's misery and happiness and begging Charles for money, in exchange, they can make money off of him, off of creating stories about him. That's what they care about: clicks, money, revenue. But not about Harry's life, not about his kids, not about Meghan, just about making money off of Prince Harry by ruining his life, by ruining his marriage. So Middleton and William, they know nothing about being hurt. They know nothing about being hurt, my family. They know nothing about being hurt. William, for example, my family, has been protected all his life. He knows nothing about being hurt. He knows nothing about that, my family. The person who called his own mother paranoid knows nothing about being hurt. Because if you ever endure even a fraction of what Harry and Meghan go through every day, William would not be able to even handle that. Never. And that is a fact. And my family, I pray and hope. I pray and hope that Harry will be able to see, what they want from him, really. But I believe he knows, really, even his statement in court of how Wikimedia want him single, and that objective is pursued to this day. He knows what they want. And my family also hope that Harry understands it, that the farm, he can never really have a family like he wants. Not from Charles or William, but he has a family. Meghan, Archie, Lilibet, his family. And he owes them everything. For Charles and William, he owes them nothing. They have their own partners or, people. And Harry has his own family. It's high time that Harry himself stops trying to reach out to those who clearly seek him pain, suffering, and harm. Because the whole family, William, Charles, Kate, Camilla, don't wish him well. And I hope that Harry fully understands that 100% and keeps his distance, like Meghan keeps her distance from all those who are toxic to her, who are abusive towards her, like Thomas Markle, Samantha Markle. You don't see Meghan ever trying to reach out to her abusers. You never ever see that, my family. I don't know if that story that Harry reached out and asked for a place to stay, at Windsor Castle is true. But my family, if it is true, then I do hope that Prince Harry understands those people don't wish him well, and they can never ever wish him well. And the best place he can ever be, the best thing he can ever do even for his marriage, for his happiness, is to keep his distance from all his abusers and focus on, his life, his marriage, his work, his business. That's what I believe Harry should maintain focus on, my family. With Meghan, we can see my family, she keeps a distance from all her abusers, and I applaud her for that. And my family, I also hope that we can really see Harry do the same thing. But my family, from what we have said, really, Kate truly, when Harry showed her love, she never showed the same love to Meghan or Harry's family, Archie. She never ever did that. And that tells you what you need to know about William and Middleton and their jealousy towards Harry and Meghan. And no matter what they do, they will never ever be able to destroy what Harry and Meghan have. That's what I pray, that they never ever succeed in destroying my family. Now you tell me your thoughts about what we have just discussed, my family. Do you think Middleton is even hurt or insulted by Harry and Meghan? What insult? What pain has she endured from Harry and Meghan? What? Meghan told all of us here, Kate is a good person. They only lie in the Oprah interview, really, because Kate is not a good person. Someone who keeps going after you is not a good person. My family, now you tell me your thoughts about this kindly. I'd like to please hear your opinion, family. Stay tuned to our next video. Love you always, and forever, my family. And may God bless Harry, Meghan, Archie, Peter, and Doria, Raglan, and all of you members of the squad at home. He never wins, love wins, and stay tuned to our next video. Love you always and forever. Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like, and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.